Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon from beautiful Miami. My name is Maryam Isa Al Ali Zastafel. I put God first. This is my story, and I have a purpose. I help others embrace their authentic self to serve a bigger purpose. Everything I do in my life, from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I go to sleep at night, is in service of something bigger than who I am.
That's true, Miriam. And my name is Alexander Zastafel. My purpose is to bring out the strength in others so they can take full control of their life and gain all rights to their existence.
Existence, guys, existence. And this is a Clear and Conquer Live. We come to you guys every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's 8 p.m. Dubai time. Now, guys, every time we come here, we bring a topic to you that is related to your life and to your business. And today's topic is very, very dear to us. It is something that literally changed our life. It's literally something that changed our existence. It changed our business, our money situation, and so on and so forth. So here's the thing, guys. Like, I'm very excited about this, and I know it's going to be a game changer for you. It is about how to create a 10x super life for you.
And blow up.
And blow up. My goodness, 100%. And by the way, this whatever we're going to be sharing with you guys are certified content from Grant Cardone. A disclaimer: Alex and I, we are certified 10x coaches, mentors, and speakers, where we help people not only think bigger but also have 10x results. So today we have a list. I mean, it's a list, but we're not going to go through the whole list. We said, which one we're going to be able to accommodate in this 1 hour. And if you guys want more, we have a free event this upcoming Thursday to talk to you guys about 10x. All what you have to do is to go to clearandconquer.com/action, right?
Yes.
So take us away, Alex. What is the first one?
Yeah, well, let's get right into it. And it all starts with your mind. I don't know if anyone's ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, but Napoleon Hill talks about your subconscious mind. And you operate mostly off of your subconscious mind. So you really have to start becoming aware of the way you think. And one of the ways that you think cannot be small, because if you stay thinking small, you're going to stay stuck in the small problem. So thinking massive is going to be the very first thing that we're going to talk about, because if you don't start by thinking massive and having a commitment to that big think, you're going to always be lost in all of the noise. And what I mean by that is you're going to be lost by the politics going on, Ukraine, Russia. You're going to be lost in COVID a couple of years ago. You're going to be lost in the recession going on right now. You're going to be lost in TikTok, people doing random things, right? On TikTok. You're going to be caught up in all of the noise. And I want to share a statistic with you because it's mind-blowing. And that is we consume more data in one day than someone in the 15th century did in an entire lifetime. Wow. Imagine the average person lived, 60 years? For 60 years, we consume 60 years of data that someone would have consumed in the 15th century in one day.
Wow.
So imagine, you really have to be aware of what you are consuming, because you have to kind of protect yourself in that essence. You can't keep on allowing all of this stuff to get into you. Otherwise, you will not be thinking big. And there's some times where I have to catch myself sometimes. Why, Alex, what are you doing thinking small like that? And it's hard not to get caught up in the little things, the day-to-day things, and your past and what's going on in the present, and maybe something tragic has happened in your life. It's really hard not to get caught up in that and still focus on the big main thing. Okay, but you have to in order to live a 10x super life.
And by the way, for those who are very new to the principle of 10x, the 10x rule is written by our amazing billionaire mentor, Grant Cardone. Grant actually has this amazing book that transforms life, and it's all about, as Alex mentioned, it's all about thinking massive. You know how you are operating in 10x levels? You do that when you are thinking 10 times more and you are doing 10 times more. Let me tell you something about thinking 10 times more. When you are thinking more than everyone around you, you might feel like that you are outgrowing your environment. That's going to be your first side. And okay, fine, I'm thinking 10 times more than others around me. What should I do? You should back it up with action. And sometimes environments that you are in maybe will not support you 100% with whatever you want to do. So the idea of thinking massive, it is the thing that changed where Alex and I are. I mean, I'm like you, Alex. Like sometimes I'm like, why am I thinking small? Right? I would like to share something that I did with a grant like last year. Was it last year? When in March 2021, I ran the very first 10x event outside of the United States as a Grant Cardone licensee. And I was very excited about the win. I have all those people showing up virtual and live, and it was it was on the news and blah blah blah, right? And then I went to Grant. It was Grant, Brandon Dawson, Jared was in the call, Buckwise was there. So it was like the team was there. So I got to share my win. And I told the Grant, oh my gosh, like I did this. And he said, congratulations. But I'm like, Grant, I feel like it's still average. I don't feel fulfilled. He's like, you should be unsatisfied with us. He says, once you meet your potential, you're going to keep meeting it. God is not going to fail you on that deal. Exactly his words. I watched that clip so many times. Once you meet your potential, you're going to keep meeting it. Again, when you think big, you will not find any other way than thinking even bigger, because the success that you get will not satisfy. In fact, John Maxwell has a beautiful quote as well. When you taste significance, once you taste significance, success will not satisfy. When you understand that significance is about the huge impact, the bigger impact you're going to create on this world.
That's
success
true.
is about you. I'm successful. My success, money, relationship, whatever it is, my success. But significance is about everybody else who will be impacted by your success. So that's what happens when you think big. Thinking small, get you small, cute results wrapped in a pinky box, in a pink ribbon. That's what it gets you. So it's a choice. You want to think big or want to think small.
Yeah. Speaking of significance, I married significance. So I tasted success in marrying so that the person of my life, the person of my dreams, someone so incredible that I have to keep getting more success,
Thank you. I appreciate that. He married significance. I like that. Who can top up that line now? Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll give you guys an example too that we were talking with our business partner, William, that produces this show for us. Shout out to William at Wi-Fi on Instagram. He literally has the line, and he's really easy to find. It's at Wi-Fi on Instagram. Literally. It's really, really easy to find. Very simple. And he also has his a website there too.
Thank you.
But William was talking backstage, and what I hear a lot of people say is, I don't have enough time. Like, I don't really have enough time for that, Alex. I don't have enough time to invest in myself. And William had a different conversation with me. He was talking about how he's going to create more time and squeeze more time and shorten the lengths of how long something takes, so he can spend more time with his family, so he can spend even more time in his business, so he can spend even more time developing on himself or developing himself. That was the conversation that I had with William. See the difference? He's talking about creating more time, and you're complaining about not having enough time. And when reality, William has 24 hours, and so do you. So why is William talking differently? Why is he having a different conversation? It's not because he was born into a certain gene or a certain amount of wealth or anything like that. It's far from the truth, right? He had to work for all of this.
100%.
And what you guys have to do is you have to start talking differently. You have to start talking in terms of massive thinking. How can I multiply my time? Right? Because there's ways to do that too. I don't want to get into that today. But you can literally multiply your time. And that's how wealthy people think.
Yeah.
And if you think, oh, I don't deserve any of this, I'm not worthy, you're wrong, right? You're just flat out wrong. And the reason why you're wrong is because everybody deserves more in their life. They deserve to be fulfilled. They deserve to live their purpose. They deserve to be thinking big, right? And it's funny because thinking big is such a cliche thing to say, but in reality, it is one of the most important things that people fail at.
100%.
Like, people really, really, really don't think big. And I think maybe it's because they think it is cliche or something like that. But when I personally went to Grant's house, the thing that I got out of that was not hanging around with all of the people there. It was thinking bigger, right? It was the way that they were thinking. It was the environment that I put myself in. And when I put myself in play, it allowed me to realize that I was actually thinking too small and needed a necessity to think bigger.
100%, Alex. And here's the thing, guys, like all your problems will disappear by thinking big.
Yeah.
You know, like that, as Alex said, like it's underestimated. When
Yeah,
I say think
it
big,
is.
think big. And by the way, here is the problem. Sometimes you want to think big, but everybody around you is thinking small.
Mm.
Now that's a problem.
Mm.
Now that's a very big problem. You know what you
Preach,
should,
Miriam.
in that case, people seriously, like Alex, like they like people, they want to go ahead and think massive and think big, but then you are in an environment or in a city or with a group of friends or a group of colleagues who are not supporting you. So what do? It's whether you're gonna shrink or move.
Wow.
A grant says move away from something, move away from comfort, move away from people who are trying to put you down, put you in a golden cage.
Wow.
I was having golden handcuffs on my hands. I thought my life was amazing because I had all these cars and whatever, jewelry and Jimmy Choos and stuff, right? But the thing is that all these didn't matter. What mattered is that I believe in my soul, in my heart, that I've been created for much bigger than buying Jimmy Choos every month. You know, like there is more in my life than just what I was told to do, right? So this is what is all about thinking massive. So what if we want to encourage you to do something today? Think bigger. How much money do you want to make a month? 10K? How about 100? You're making 100. How about 1 million? Imagine what's going to happen when you have 10 times the money you have right now in your bank account. What will change in your life? Think like that and act like it. Show up for it. All your problems will disappear by thinking massive, I promise.
Wow. Miriam said something really profound. Shrink or move. That's going to be a Miriam Al Elizastable quote. Shrink or move.
Shrink or move.
Either shrink or get moving. My goodness, that was good. I don't even know if you realized that you said it, but like
it's my spirit preaching today.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's talking with passion. She's talking with purpose.
Let's go. That's what you have when you are operating with purpose.
Ooh.
Okay, love that.
Shrink or move.
Shall we go to number 2?
Go ahead. Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna be selecting which one should I go for?
Whichever one you would absolutely love to go with.
Okay, so this is another 10X principle that we totally love. Commit first, figure the rest out later. Commit first, figure the rest out later. You have a business, commit first. You like a girl, commit first, right? You want to go ahead and start a degree, commit first. Figure the rest out later. But many of us, what do we say? How? We get stuck in the mechanics, not knowing that intentions are senior to the mechanics.
You're tracking with me.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the mechanics are. They might show themselves the mechanic or not. But if you're not committed, if you don't commit first, nothing will happen. Many of us, we think, like, oh my God, I need everything to be perfect for me to commit. I want to make sure that everything is fine for the project to run. I want to make sure that I have all the employees in place. I want to make sure I have the capital. Grant Cardone said it in the past, last mentoring call we were in. He said, this is gold. He said, perfection is a fancy word for procrastination. And procrastination is a fancy word for worrying to fail. So the reason that you are not committing is because you are scared of failure. Why aren't you committing to that girl that you like? I'm looking at you. Why aren't you committing to the girl that you like? What are you scared of? Failure? You want things to be perfect? No such thing. For how long did we date?
We dated for 24 hours.
Yeah. Commit first and figure the rest out later. With us, we live by this rule. In our relationship, in our business. We were doing, for example, a 10X Super Life event, which, by the way, it's a free event. By all means, you guys are invited to it. It's on this upcoming Thursday. And we literally came up with the idea 2 days ago. We're going to do this. Commit first. What time? Date? Done. We're not going to say, oh my gosh, we have to create a landing page. Oh my goodness, what should we put in the content? Commit first, figure the rest out later. All what I'm going to do when I start questioning my commitment is I'm adding time to it. Commit first. And when you commit, you are setting your intention. And when you have intentions without any reservations, when you don't have any counter intentions with your intention, things will happen. You call a client, oh, maybe they will not buy from me. You are already putting an idea there. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and commit to this girl, but I'm not sure if the relationship would work. You are already putting a counter intention. So commit first, whatever it is that you want to do, and figure the rest out later. Other than that, you are literally procrastinating and waiting for a perfect time that, by the way, will never come.
100%. So what kind of decisions are you making to commit, you know? Like most of you maybe are getting stuck in the mechanics as Miriam is talking right now, right? Like maybe you're getting stuck as she's speaking, and that's the whole problem. That's the exact reason why you should come to our free event, by the way, which is clearandconquer.com/action, clearandconquer.com/action, because we want you to take action on your life. It's 100% free, by the way. This is the thing, though. Most people get caught up in all of the noise, and they never actually commit. And it comes down to a decision, right? It's a decision that you make. I am going to become wealthy, right? If that's what you want to do. I am going to make my parents proud. That is a decision, right? And the bigger the decision, the bigger the think, the more room there is for your growth. But if you limit yourself at a certain point, and you only limit yourself based off of your past experience or based off of what you think you can do instead of to your potential, then you're going to knock yourself down. You're going to sell yourself short. I'll tell you, one of my fears is actually selling myself short, right? Like, you know, getting to my deathbed and realizing I could have done so much more. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have took this opportunity. I wish I would have went this way. I don't want to get to that point. I'm just going to go commit to the things, even if I don't know how to do them, and figure it out later, right? That's what it means. It does not mean to be reckless. It doesn't mean to just commit first and then figure the rest out later and then you're bankrupt,
Sure.
right? Like, that's not it either. But it does mean putting some risk on the line because you believe so much in yourself and your ability to do more than you actually thought you could do. That's what it means. It does not mean waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect opportunity. I'm telling you, waiting is a waste of time.
Let's go.
There's someone that we're helping with a masterclass, our 3-day masterclass, speaking masterclass. He's 19 years old, and he wasn't coming up with all these excuses.
Yes.
So if he's 19 and he's not coming up with excuses, he's coming to our 3-day masterclass. What's your excuse? Right? But most likely, the older we get, the more experience we have, and the more we think that we can't because of our past experiences.
Wow.
Let go of that. Commit anyways. Sorry, I'm getting my hands are flying all over the place.
It's okay. You're committed. You're committed. Alex.
I'm committed. I'm fully committed.
Let's go.
Maybe a little bit of recklessness there.
Who said you can be a little bit reckless?
But I'd rather know where exactly that line is than never figure out where the line is. Right? If I'm just in my little shell and I never figure out where that line is, where I kind of push a little bit too far, how are you supposed to ever know where that is if you never get to that point? Right? You guys are scared. Like, what if I would have made that mistake? What if it would have spilled all over the place? Do you think that we would have allowed that to stop us from going 2 hours later or continuing this live or figuring it out, right? Do you think we would have let that stop us? No, it's a cup of coffee. Now, if it was hot, that'd be a whole different thing, right?
Yes.
But my point here is you need to push. You need to go a little bit not a little bit. You need to go to the edge, like the deep end. How many of you guys have taken swimming lessons when you were younger? You took swimming lessons, right? Did you ever go to the deep end?
No.
Okay. I was forced.
I tried.
Yeah, I was forced to go to the deep end, even though I didn't want to. And I continued to be scared for a long time, for like years. But eventually, I figured it out because I committed to being someone that could actually swim because I was sick of there was dolphins and there were sharks, right? I was sick of being in the dolphin group. I wanted to be with the sharks. The sharks were a group of people that could go to the deep end by themselves.
Let's go. I love that.
Are you kidding me? And I was so embarrassed because I was getting older and older, and there was kids that were like 5 years younger than me that were already sharks. Okay. And that's where I went wrong too. I was comparing myself. That's not going to do anything either. But what I should have done is committed to becoming a shark because I wanted to become a shark, not because of someone else being a shark, right?
Wow.
That's the way you have to think about it. You have to figure out where the deep end is. And you maybe have to put yourself at a low risk and then know you have support systems. The lifeguard's there, okay? And then so is the instructor. The instructor's not gonna let me drown.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still scared, right? So what I did is I figured it out and eventually I became a shark.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I know that's I know.
But that was like years later, and I at the beginning I wasn't committed. I wasn't practicing enough. I wasn't, you could call it role playing enough. I wasn't doing enough to even get to that level. So why was I so surprised that I wasn't a shark? Okay. So my point here is you must commit first, and then you figure out the rest later. It's just something that you have to start practicing.
100%.
Because if you never know where that deep end is, you're never gonna find the deep end.
I love that. And here's the thing, this commitment part that Alex talked about, we talk about it in our accountability group every single time. If you're in our accountability group, you know what we're going to say next.
Tanya's in here. She hears me say, Tanya, how many times have I said the word commitment?
And what is included in commitment,
Yeah, Tanya knows. I guarantee she knows.
It's 3 things. Like if you say, I am committed, you need to know that it requires time, effort, and energy. You cannot say, oh my God, I'm committed to my...
Time, money, and energy.
What did I say?
Time, effort, and energy.
Time, money, and energy. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'll get you.
That's the accountability part. For those who are in accountability group, you think it's, oh my gosh, I'm being held accountable. Imagine living with accountability here. So here is the thing, guys. Like when you commit like that, you literally put everything in. Like you cannot say, oh my gosh, my marriage was successful. Mariam, I committed. I put money into my marriage. I had a wedding. I bought a house. Okay, good. What about the time and effort into the relationship? It's not like you're putting money. Like, for example, I had last weekend, I had people signing up for my purpose event. They paid. They didn't show up. That's not a commitment. Some people want to come to my event for free. Like they want me to, they expect 2 days for them to find the reason for their existence, and they want it for free. So you are willing to put time and money, time and energy without money. You are devaluing yourself. It's not about me, but when you are used to getting things for free, you will not value something unless you actually pay for it. People who pay attention. And by the way, I used to be very shy to ask people for money for my services. But here's the thing: if I value myself enough and I value you enough, I should ask for some kind of a payment, right?
For sure.
So here's the thing: you must be on you commit first and figure the rest out later. So this is again when you know that you are in doing something other people are not doing. Many people are getting stuck in the mechanics. How am I going to do it? Don't worry about the how. Are you committed? Commit first, whatever it is, and figure the rest out later.
100%. That's one of the principles that I lived by the first minute that I heard it. Granted, I did make a mistake. One mistake with it is I took it out of context and I became reckless with some things that I didn't need to become reckless with. So that's why I'm telling you about the recklessness part, because I've experienced that. But for the most part, I've committed first and I figure the rest out later. I don't wait for the perfect time or opportunity. I stopped trying to be perfect a long time ago. And when I did that, I actually gained the ability. It's an ability that I gained to just go and do things anyways, even though it wasn't the perfect time. Because imagine, if for those of you that are doing cold calls or you guys are calling people, do you think it's ever a great time to call someone? Right? They're in the middle of something. They're in the middle of a work day as well. They're working as well, right? It's not going to be the perfect time, but you have to commit first and figure the rest out later. Okay. Look to help them on the phone in that moment. If they can't be helped in the moment, find a time that for sure is going to work for the both of you. And then you're going to figure that out, right? It's not figure out a time first and then see when it's going to work best for the both of you. And then next thing you know, it's 3 months later and then it's Christmas.
Yeah, it doesn't work this way.
It
doesn't work this way, guys.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, you go for the next one. I mean, I highlighted a few, but it's up to you.
Yeah. So I feel like this one's gonna go good next.
Okay, go for it.
This is something that Mariam and myself experienced in our lives. Like just so you guys know, we did not have it easy. Okay. when you have 10x goals
Mm.
and you start thinking really big and you start living your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to have 10 times the amount of resistance as well. I don't know why that is, but it is. And maybe it's just because a lot of things aren't normal when you're doing those 10x goals. Like they're not average levels of action. Okay. So expect 10 times the amount of resistance when you have 10x goals. I know like there's so many different times where in my life I started going after it. I'll give you an example. I wanted to be a millionaire, right? At one point, I was only thinking about how to make a whole bunch of money. Now I have a lot of everything else laid out. But I wanted to become a multi-millionaire and have the Lamborghini and all those different things. And what would happen was I would be doing really good during winter time when it was cold out and I was able to be in front of my computer. But the next thing I know, as summer rolled around, spring, I started becoming the alcoholic again.
Mm.
And I would ruin all of my momentum and progress because my friends would be asking me to go out. And what Miriam talked about is environment earlier. When you're up here with your goals and people are down here, they don't understand why you have those goals. Okay? So I'm saying you're going to have resistance in all areas, but you're going to have resistance from your family. You're going to have resistance from your environment. There's going to be people rooting for you to fail. There's going to be people waiting on the sideline, not saying anything, waiting for you to fail. Like they're right there with their bits. In fact, they spend more time and energy watching you than your people that are in your accountability group, the mentorship groups. They spend more time looking for you to fail. In fact, they may be watching us right now. Hello. Yeah. Those people are rooting for you to fail. And that drives me. I'm like, I am not going to let that happen. Right. And it gives me like a sense of like drive, like that's one of the ways. What I'm saying here is there's going to be a whole bunch of different things that happen. As soon as you find your purpose or look to even attempt to finding your purpose, something's going to happen. Right. I promise you, something is going to happen and you're going to get whacked. Right. And you're like, dang, I was going to find my purpose. I don't even know if it's worth it anymore. That's what you're going to be thinking. Man, I don't know if it's worth it. This is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Living your purpose. Not very many people do that.
Right.
Dang, like, Steve Harvey, Donald Trump, and they always talk about purpose and passion. I don't know if I could do that.
Right.
Miriam always talks about purpose. I don't know if that's me,
Yeah.
And you're thinking about all these things. And you're thinking of those things because of experiences that you've had.
Right.
Not because of the future. The future hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
It's because of experiences that you've had. That's why. But I don't know, how many times have you had resistance? Like the minute that you commit and make the decision, how many times has that happened to you?
It's all the time.
Yeah.
By the way, the minute you commit to something huge in your life, expect resistance. And it's going to come in form that is unusual or unexpected. Suddenly, you need to paint the house. Suddenly, you have... I was helping a lady find her purpose. She's like, I was not expecting any visitors. My sister and her children came. Like, wow. It's like that. She's like, that didn't come for years. I'm like, of course. It's a distraction now. It's a beautiful distraction, but it's a distraction. And it happened to us every time. By the way, guys, we're not going to disclose the story yet, but Maryam and Alex in 2022, you and I, the amount of challenges and resistance we got this year, we didn't get in our whole lifetime. Things or people were trying to break this union. We're not gonna, this is a juicy story for maybe next year. But it's amazing how much when you are committed to this, you get resistant, right? We actually were talking to one of our mentors, and he said to us that when it's right, when something is right, expect this kind of resistance. Many people will quit. Oh my God, it's not worth it. Why did I marry an American and move to Miami? This is so hard. We don't talk like that. We're like, okay, how do we make this work? Because you are doing something so big, so massive. Alex has a purpose. I have a purpose. He has a huge goals. I have a huge goals. And both of us as a couple, Alex and I, we're facing even more challenges. We're facing even more problems. And it keeps getting bigger, but that's fine. because our goals and our results gets bigger at the same time. And if you go to Grant Cardone's office in the kitchen, there is this mountain, and then there is a quote says, have goals so big, your problems pale in comparison. Yes, we have big goals, and yes, we have big problems, but our problems are so tiny compared to where we're headed.
Yeah, 100%. And that's again comes down to commit first, figure the rest out later. Like you have to commit, okay?
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a lot of resistance, okay? Miriam just shared a whole bunch of, like, we could share story after story after story of when we have had massive amounts of resistance. And to all of our friends out there, everybody watching, the minute that you commit to those massive goals, I promise there's gonna be all these reasons why you're thinking it couldn't work. And you just have to switch your way of thinking of how could it work? You know, like most people fail at a lot of the same things. Like success is very simple, right? And you have to figure out how to push through those things, because obviously most people don't, right? But that's because they're getting all this resistance, and then they submit, right? They succumb. They just fall over on the floor. Right? They don't push through because it's uncomfortable.
Right.
It's very uncomfortable. And sometimes you're like really heated, very emotional, like even maybe being a little bit irrational, right? And you're just maybe you're clawing each other's ears out with your spouse or whatever is happening in your life. I don't know. But the thing that you need to know is, hey, this is an indication that I have to get my stuff together right now and move past this. Because you have to realize 10 times the goals, 10 times the resistance. So just know it's coming. And when you know it's coming, you can know a little bit more and be more aware on how to act. And one thing I learned from Brandon Dawson, I have to share this as a bonus for all of you, is acknowledging. It's the 4 A's: acknowledging, accepting, taking action, and attack speed. You acknowledge that there's this resistance, this thing that just came at you out of nowhere. Wasn't planned, wasn't expected. You're going off the deep end, like I was talking about earlier, and you're scared. You feel like you're gonna drown. You're paddling all over the place, right? And you have to acknowledge, like, this is what's happening, right? And then you have to accept it and come to peace with it. Basically, accept that it is a reality. Because a lot of you try to do something about it, and you didn't accept it yet.
Right.
Like you know it's happening, but you didn't even accept it.
Right.
And you have to take action on it. You have to figure out a way that it can work.
I love that.
You have to find a solution.
I love that.
I program myself with these. I swear, like the
4 A's.
the 4 A's are like really, really, really have changed my life. But you have to figure out a solution to how it can work, right? How can it? And maybe it's not serving you, so you do need to get rid of it. Maybe it's completely not serving you.
Right.
But most of the time, it is. And you need to push through and figure out a way that it can work. And once you figure that out, you start moving. You don't, what is it, sink?
What is
Sink or move?
What did I say? Oh, sometimes I say
Something,
golden.
yeah.
Sink or move? No.
No.
Shrink or move.
Oh yeah, shrink or move. So once you have that, you're gonna have to move instead of, like, you know what it is? You got to go do that thing, and then you sink. You succumb. You fall over.
Right.
No, once you know what that solution is, you have to run with it, even if you might make a mistake
100%.
or thousands of mistakes. Hey, I've made mistakes. You want to know something? I'm going to make millions more mistakes. Great. The faster that I can make mistakes, the faster I'm going to be able to move, and the faster I can correct myself and do those 4 A's, right? Like, but if I am always sinking down and being depressed and getting really pissed off at myself, like, why'd you do this again, Alex? Oh my gosh, you just did this mistake again? You know? And I start going down this death spiral, and all of a sudden I'm low energy. I'm not very motivated. I don't really want to do that thing that I'm supposed to do. And I'm being the poor me. Oh my gosh. I'm such a klutz, or whatever you call yourself.
A little too.
Right? A little too, right? Like, oh my gosh. No, you got to acknowledge, accept, take action, and then use attack speed. Go with it, right? Go with the flow. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you because that is how you handle resistance.
Yeah.
It goes exactly with this. So
I love that, Alex.
Yeah.
And here is the thing. It's gonna come to you. But again, look, I hope you guys are taking notes. For those who are tuning in just now, this is a Clear and Conquer Live. We come to you guys every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Dubai time. That's 12 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, I hope you're taking notes. Alex just now shared with you golden nuggets. And this is what he does in his private mentoring, okay? This is what he does in his private mentoring, and we hope that you guys are taking notes.
It's worth millions and millions and millions. And even if you're thinking in billions, it's worth billions of dollars because it creates more time.
Let's go. I have nothing else to add into that. Maybe we should move to the next one.
Go ahead.
Okay, good.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next one is, it came also from us understanding it as 10X coaches, and also as people being around the 10X community, and also learning from Elena Cardone. We look forward to seeing her next month and her mastermind as well. So here's what she said. You must be on the same page with your family about money. Now, this is going to be a little bit sensitive. Maybe some of you guys don't want to hear this, but we're going to share with you what it means and how did we actually apply it in our life and how you can apply it in your life.
And if you don't want to hear it, your life depends on it. So.
Let's go. I love that. I love that. That's why I'm with this guy. Okay, he helps me see things like I'm not aware of at that moment. Thank you. Appreciate it. So here's what it is. So you must be on the same page with your family about money. And I'm going to tell you, like, the first thing Alex and I did when we got together is that we talked about literally everything. Everything. Actually, William also encouraged us to talk about everything.
Yeah.
Right? So talking about everything, I'm talking about the things we went through, the challenges, our family, our tradition, our culture, anything we could think about, we just put it there. And one big thing that we actually have done was talking about money. Talking about money in a very early stage of our relationship. That was our engagement in January this year. Alex proposed to me in January 1st, 2022. And got married to me. We got married, on February 2nd, 2022. So see, commit first, figure the rest out later. Doesn't have to take years, guys. So what we did at the beginning of our relationship, we started talking about money. Alex showed me how much assets, how much money he has, how much everything he has, how much he's investing in the business, how big is the business, how much debt he has. Same thing from my end. I spoke about everything, money, assets, what I had in Dubai, everything. Right? We spoke about everything. We laid it out flat. Oh my gosh, isn't it trusting someone too soon? Well, here's the thing. Aren't we supposed to get married? If you are not comfortable sharing your money situation with your partner, if there is no element of a trust, you might as well not do it. Because anything you don't talk about becomes a problem. Right?
Yeah.
So we started talking about it. Alex and I were like, okay, this is our money situation. Now this is how much money we have. So what can we do? And it really helped us a lot that we are part of the 10X community. We were indoctrinated in the same way. Like we understand the investment. There was no clash in goals. One of the goals, first investment, ourselves. We didn't say, Alex didn't say, oh, I want to put all our money in real estate. We already had that same page, like first investing in ourselves. Second is investing in our business. Third is investing in something that can give us like a cash flow, right? Like a passive income. Now, if we didn't have that from the beginning, we'd have found a lot of challenges. Imagine I marry Alex and he said, oh, no, Mariam, I believe that we should put our money in real estate. Huh? We are not on the same page. So if you are not on the same page with your spouse when it comes to money, that's not 10X. That's why we see a lot of problems. So when you are comfortable enough to talk to your spouse or to your partner about your money situation, no, this relationship will go somewhere. But if you are very scared and you are like not trusting the person, or I shouldn't tell them about my other account that is reserved, I shouldn't tell them how much I have in my 401k, okay, don't. But then again, it's going to become a problem. Anything you don't talk about becomes a problem. What do you have to say about this Mr. Money who looks after our money in our family? Because I don't like to look at our money.
Well, that's the thing that Mariam is literally talking about. You have to decide who wears what hat as well.
Yes.
Like you have to make that very clear. Who is going to wear what hat in the family? Because if you have two captains of the ship, one might want to steer it the other way and one might want to steer it the other way.
Having
Right.
two no-khadas.
Yeah. So like you have to establish who's the captain of the ship for the money, who's the captain of the ship for the business, who's the captain of the ship for the family, who's the captain of the ship for the kids, who's the captain of the ship for like if you have employees, right? If you go that deep into, if you both have a company together, like you have to decide that. Because again, when stuff hits the fan, when shit hits the fan, you are going to be really emotional, and one person is going to have to decide. Because if you have two people deciding, it could be a huge mess, especially if you need to make a quick decision.
Right.
So you have to really trust that person and their abilities. You have to make that decision based off their abilities of who's going to do that decision. So for as far as finance goes, you know, like that's my like that's what you said. That's my thing, right? And I look after all of the money, like all of our accounts. Like we're both very transparent with each other on what accounts are which. And that might be controversial for some people. That's how we do it, okay? Because we really want to know exactly what is going on with each other. Because like Miriam said, whatever you do not look at and confront is going to become a problem, especially in the beginning stage. Since we looked at the money immediately, again, William actually gave us some great advice on you know, getting married, because he's been married for almost 20 years, I think, right? Almost 20 years.
Tell us, Wallah,
yes, you tell us, William.
Sorry.
Almost 20 years,
We
right?
take full responsibility for that, remembering.
Terrible friends. I think it's 18. I'm pretty sure it's 18. But anyways, like he gave us some great advice. And what you just really have to be aware of this. And this goes for everything. I told Miriam all the things that happened in my childhood. Miriam told, dang it, 19. Miriam told me all the things from her past, like everything. I didn't want to hold any secrets from Miriam because I would feel like I'm hiding something. And then you're going to have to tell them at one point, or if they figure out something from someone else, my goodness, that's going to drive you crazy. If you keep those secrets from the other person, it's going to drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And if they really trust you and like are aligned with you, they're going to be okay with hearing it. Right. And like, don't be worried about like trust issues and all that stuff. Like we wanted each other to know, because I'm like, if I'm going to get into a marriage, I need her to know exactly what has happened in my past.
100%.
Right. Because like, it just felt like the right thing to do for me. And it really it was amazing. Same. I'm just saying, like, and her telling me like you wouldn't have the reactions you would think either. That's the thing. It was so amazing to be able to do that with someone, because in the past I was never able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So and one more thing I'll add. I'm excited.
Go for it. I love it. I'm having fun here. Like, this is what we talk about between us, and anything maybe we hope like this is resonating with you somehow. Again, this is how it worked for us, and this is why we love to share it. And you guys take what you need from it. You don't have to take everything. Take what you need from it. Yeah.
So one thing we learned from Elena, we're going to be going to her relationship mastermind. We're going to share this with her again. She already knows it, but we love to share it with her because we want her to know that she helped us in our relationship. And she says, find the one you trust and build an empire with them, right? Find the one you trust, not the one you love. Don't get that mistaken. If you just look for love only, there's going to be stuff that happens. It's not going to be good, right? If people only look for love is just, it's not enough. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, you have to be in a relationship, a marriage, for more than that.
Yeah.
Why just for love? What happens when you don't love each other you guys are mad at each other? There has to be a bigger reason why you're together, because if you're just there for love, you're not loving each other in that moment, then what happens? Not good, right? Maybe you don't really know where to go. You're kind of uncertain at that point.
Right.
So when I got with Miriam, I knew that, and she was on the same page too. Find the one you trust and build an empire. So me and her knowing that, I was able to share those things with her very confidently. Right.
And one thing that we also learned, guys, this is again 10x principles, being around the right people, being around the right community, looking in the other partner, is Alex says love is not enough. You know what is higher than love? Admiration. I admire Alex. I admire his patience. I admire how he's helping people. I admire him as a spiritual being. He's a spiritual being because before he's a physical being, right?
Yeah.
I admire this about Alex. I do not say, "Oh my God, I love him. He has beautiful eyes. Oh my God, look at his eyes, so beautiful." You know, which is fine that God gave him these eyes. Okay, but here's the thing: I admire him. I admire the work he's doing. I admire all his success. I admire the fact that there are a lot of different companies and business owners now are taking a private consultation from Alex. I'm telling you, he's very humble. He's a big shot, right? It's I see, like, I admire Alex. So when you admire someone, it's much bigger than love.
Yeah.
Admiration is much bigger than love. So do you admire your spouse? Do you admire your partner? Do you admire what they do? Here's the thing: do they admire you?
Yep.
I know he admires me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I say it all the time.
I know he admires me. I know he knows that because we keep talking about it. Right? It's a relationship. It's a unity. And our unity is a little bit, I'm like, okay, I'm taking this up. Our unity is under God. God has his hand on this relationship. So no matter what kind of resistance we're getting from people, hating, waiting for us to fail, blah, 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 we don't care because it's God's hand is on this relationship. God got us so many times, like, and because he wants that, God knows he has a huge plan for us, and what we're doing is flourishing and prospering, right? And if you are looking at your spouse or your partner right now, how are you treating them? How are they treating you? If when there is a problem, what do? Are you on the same page or not? If you are not on the same page, why don't you talk about it? There is nothing wrong with you talking about your spouse, your significant other, about what you want, what you need, like where do you want to go, where you're headed. I promise you, like if you and I were not on the same page, if we didn't talk about our goals from the beginning, this relationship would not be successful. But we laid it flat. You know, as we say in Arabic, خرينا الجربة. Right? Yeah. We've laid it flat. This is it. This is what you're signing. This is the whole package. I remember even Auntie calling me, "Oh my God, Mariam, don't show Alex that side of you." I'm like, too late. Because I literally, like, I don't want to hide anything from Alex, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, Alex is going to be traveling this weekend. He's going to North Dakota. He's leaving me for a few days. But I'm not going to say, call me every hour. Show me where you are. Who are you with? I trust the guy. Why would you even start a relationship doubting the person who you want to be with? Don't do it in the first place if you're going to start doubting them. I'm going to tell you, like, trust Elena Cardone, spot on. Find the one you trust and build an empire. I'm not worried when Alex looks at my phone. He knows the password to my phone. I know the password to his phone. I don't have his Face ID, but I have the password, right? But the idea is it's like we know we trust each other, you know, and when you have a relationship built on trust, nothing will shake it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing will shake it. And it starts with you talking about everything: money situation, children, where you want to live, and so on and so on. Even we discussed where we're gonna live.
Yeah.
We're going back to Dubai soon.
Yeah.
But we're mainly gonna live in Miami. So that was already the agreement. It was an agreement.
Yeah, and for those of you like that found the one that you trust, you have to get on the same page with them. And one of the things that I've learned is knowing what hats each other wear. Okay, let's use an example outside of our relationship.
I love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's use an example outside of our relationship, which was Grant and Elena, which I took a lot of advice from. Like they're an example of a power couple, but they weren't always, like, Elena wasn't always the businesswoman, just so you know.
Right.
Like Elena, for about 10, well, actually more than that, for a while, 10, 15 years, I think 15 years, she was the person who was the home keeper, like the person that took care of the kids. And Grant didn't screw around with that. That was her role. Like, that was one of her main roles. And then she was also at the same time support, which means bear the weight of. Like, she says this all the time. Right? And only in the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, has she transitioned into the businesswoman and is wearing different hats. So it's something you always reevaluate. Like that changes and it expands, it evolves, right? But at certain points in your life, you really have to just analyze your life, because Miriam and ourselves are different from Elena and Grant. We don't have kids yet, so we can wear different hats. But don't compare yourself to me and Miriam and I. Don't compare yourself to Grant and Elena. Don't compare yourself to William and Nat, right? We all have different lives. So you really have to sit down and figure out what those things are for you and your spouse, or maybe you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, right? You have to sit down and figure those things out for yourself. But again, you have to trust them. And coming from a person that had major trust issues, like I had major trust issues.
Same here.
My goodness. I had such big trust issues that it actually prevented me from being in a relationship for 7 years. Or 7.5 years. I was single for 7.5 years.
Until Mariam Alali blocked the circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
I want to give myself some credit here.
Well, you get the credit for sure. And I did marry you.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He committed first, figure the rest out later. He didn't tell me, Alex, I will wait until I finish the farm in Izbah.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I will wait. I will discuss this with my parents in North Dakota. He didn't say, I will go ahead and wait until I finish my house. He didn't come up with excuses. Commitment has no excuses.
Yeah.
Right? And again, and it's very interesting that when you know what you want, like when you really know what you want and you admire the person, it comes like it's flawless.
100%. And before I forget too, we're going to be going over this in our free event on Thursday. This is how to live a 10x super life.
Right.
This is doing exactly what I started this live. If you missed the beginning of this, you really have to go back and rewatch, because we dropped a lot of fire that we have learned from billionaires themselves. Okay. But what I started with, William was creating more time in his life. Okay. And that's what we're going to show you how to do, how to live the 10x super life. Right. And that's learning how to create time so you can have it all, because that is possible. There's plenty of examples, but maybe you're looking at the wrong examples.
Yeah.
Right. So it's it's clearandconquer.com/action. So if you go to that website, you can register for free. It's 100% free. clearandconquer.com/action. And this is going to allow you to become part of our 10x Super Life event as Grant Cardone 10x certified coaches. It's Grant Cardone content, okay?
Yes.
Certified content. So it's literally his content that we are partnered with to teach you. So we're showing you how to live the billionaire lifestyle of all the ways that Grant has lived the billionaire lifestyle, building it, creating it, and creating the time to do it all.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to add to that, and we're going to show you how we got to do that for us.
Yes.
There is nothing.
Yes.
We're not going to share with you like chapter 10x goal says
Yes.
the following. We don't
great
do
point.
that, right? We're going to share, yes, it's a Grant Cardone certified content. We're going to be delivering it to you as a Grant Cardone licensees, but we're also going to be sharing with you how we applied it in our life. There is nothing that we teach. For the people in our accountability group, I hope Tony is still here. We never teach you something we don't do ourselves. We don't, because we're not practicing what we preach, so we will not be relating to what we're saying. So it's literally certified content by Grant Cardone. You come to us and we want only 2 hours of your life. We're going to show you how to create a 10x life in these 2 hours. And it's absolutely free. If you guys got like value from this, imagine what's going to happen when you join us for like 2 hours, and we're going to go ahead and help you with that. Go to clearandconquer.com/action. Thank you so much, William, for doing that for us. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to help you. Everything we're going to be sharing there is literally, it's a free content, guys. Come join us. I don't know of a 10x couple as licensees who does it. I don't think there's a 10x couple who does it in
the 10x Super Life?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
As a couple.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think, so this is, again, it shows you that we actually take that information. We love it. We appreciate it. And yes, we go see Grant. We saw Grant so many times, right? So we go see Grant, we learn from Grant, we ask him clarifying questions, right? He put me on a hot seat last time.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he told me a few words. Well, put me on my place. He's right? So
Grant
last
Thursday?
Yeah, when I was asking about the haters, right?
Yeah.
So Grant, actually, he's coaching me. He's not like, oh, you can do it good, Mariam. I'm proud of you.
Oh, you're doing a good job so
doing
far.
Good job.
And
Grant doesn't tell you this. It's like, Don't be a little beep, you know. So he's like, do more. Like, what is this? It's very small. Your goal is
Yeah.
8 billion people.
Like, why are you guys focusing on the haters at all?
Exactly. Why are you even talking about them,
Yeah.
right? But it's goodness because the haters become our best friends, you know, later on when
A
they
lot of
understand.
times.
A lot of times, right? So the idea, guys, it's we yes, we take the principles of 10x. Yes, we live 10x in every single day. Yes, we go, but yes, we also go to the boot camps, we go to the masterminds. We didn't say, I went to a Grant Cardone boot camp. We went 7 times. Because we want to get the fresh and new information for the people who come into our presence so they can get the best information, the best value. And then we can teach you based on what we have learned so you can go ahead and practice it for you. As Alex mentioned, do not compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to your own progress. Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Yeah, and I saw a question over here earlier. Someone asked how much money we've invested to ourselves. It's 350,000 last time I checked.
With
I think
grant,
it's 160.
with the grant,
Yeah.
with the Grant Cardone. We're not talking about all the other investments because we have
Yes.
other investments we have done in
Specifically
our
Grant.
lives.
Yes, that's a good point. Specifically Grant Cardone in the last 2.5 years.
I think it's
Right?
I think it's 370 so far.
Something like
Yeah, US dollars.
Yeah.
370,000 US dollars, including licenses, masterminds, boot camps, private sessions, like events,
Going to his house.
BroadCon, Cabo Mastermind,
Masterminds.
everything. That's why we can
10x 360, Cardone Ventures. Yeah.
exactly all the products from Cardone Ventures as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. By the way, the number doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Yeah.
What matters is that what we did with that information. You know, many people go to the
Exactly.
programs, but then what did they actually learn and apply?
Yep. So clearandconquer.com/action is where we're going to show you how to do this in your life, how to live the 10x super life. Okay. And again, we're Grant Cardone licensee, so we're able to teach the content, but we're going to show you how we have used it. We're not going to show you like, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. It's not going to be like that. If you enjoyed today, you should definitely come to that event because that is going to be an amplification of today. So join us. It's clearandconquer.com/action. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I have nothing else to add. I feel like we already said what you need to be said. We are here, by the way, guys, to help people who really wants to get their lives better.
Yes.
We help the overachievers achieve even more. You know, we want you to achieve even more. Like we believe that every single one of you have some significance in you. But it's a choice. Do you want that significance to come out or you want to suppress it? We are here to help people who wanna get help. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can definitely come to our free event. You can always reach out to us if you want also private mentorship.
Yes.
You want to find your purpose. You have a company. You want someone to do some consultation for you. We are here for you guys as well. But again, as long as you are willing to help yourself. Before we're done, I feel like I want you to say some inspiring words to them. Like what is the last thing you want to end this with?
I'll use a Maryam Al-Ali Zastapa quote.
Oh.
Okay. When you find your purpose, you stop going after what you want and you start going after what you deserve. Okay. That's Maryam Al-Ali Zastapol. That is a quote by Maryam Al-Ali. Let me say it one more time. When you go after your purpose, you stop going after what you want and you start going after what you deserve.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go. Join us every single Tuesday at noon Eastern, 8 p.m. UAE time, and be great. Thank you so much for joining.
Bye, guys.